Welcome back to She Rises Daily, Emerging You in 10. I'm your host, Doc Shelley, here to bring you your daily dose of inspiration, empowerment, and growth. How quickly do you make up your mind? Not about big decisions, about the little moments. Someone interrupts you. Someone forgets your name. Someone doesn't smile back. An email feels shorter than usual. A meeting ends awkwardly. Before you know it, your brain has reached a conclusion. They're upset. They don't respect me. I must have done something wrong. Most of us don't even notice how quickly it happens. The thought appears, and we immediately treat it like the truth. What if the most powerful thing you could do isn't think faster? It's pause longer. Your first thought is often automatic. There's a saying I like, you can't always control your first thought, but you can influence your second. Your first thought is often a product of experience, past hurts, old beliefs, protective instincts, habit. It's your brain trying to make sense of the world as quickly as possible, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The problem comes when we assume our first thought deserves the final word. The pause creates possibility. Imagine if every automatic thought came with a little pop-up message that said, "Are you sure?" That's what a pause does. It doesn't deny your reaction. It simply gives you a chance to test it out. Maybe your first interpretation is right. Maybe it isn't. Without the pause, you will never know. The pause creates room for perspective, and perspective often changes everything. One of my favorite coaching moments happens when a client shares a situation and confidently tells me what someone else was thinking. I'll usually smile and ask, "Is that a fact or is that your interpretation?" And almost every time they stop, sometimes they laugh, sometimes they sigh, because in that moment they realize they've skipped over curiosity and landed right smack in the middle of certainty. And here's the beautiful part. The goal isn't to prove them wrong. The goal is to help them realize there are other possibilities that they had not considered. That one pause often changes the entire coaching conversation. Better questions create better thinking. Instead of asking, "Why did they do that?" try asking, "What else might be true?" Instead of asking, "What did I do wrong?" try asking, "What information might I be missing?" Instead of asking, "Why does this always happen to me?" try asking, "Is always really accurate?" One thoughtful question can interpret an entire chain of assumptions. Questions create space, and space creates wisdom. Responding is different than reacting. Reaction is immediate. When we respond, we do it with intention. Reaction says, "I've already made up my mind. I've already decided the truth." Response says, "I'm willing to understand your perspective." Reaction protects certainty. Response welcomes learning. The pause between those two is really emotional intelligence in action. It's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself and the people around you. Here's your reflection question for today. Where in your life would a 5-second pause help you respond with more wisdom instead of reacting from assumption? And your power thought. My first thought may be automatic. My next thought is a choice. Over the last few episodes, we've explored how quickly our minds fill in missing information and how easily we collect evidence to support those assumptions. Today, we've added one more piece to the puzzle, the pause. Not because it guarantees you'll always get it right, but because it gives you the opportunity to think beyond that first reaction. Sometimes 5 seconds is all it takes to change a conversation, to change a relationship, a decision, or the story you're telling yourself. Today, choose one moment to practice the pause before responding to an email, before assuming someone else's intentions, before criticizing yourself. Simply stop and ask, what else could be true? Notice how often that one question changes the direction of your thinking. Thank you for tuning in today. If these recent episodes have challenged the way you think, I'd love for you to share them with someone who enjoys growing alongside you. Sometimes the greatest gift we can give another person is a different way of seeing the world. Until next time, remember, wisdom is not found in reacting more quickly. It's found in creating just enough space to choose your response.